Last week we started a new sermon series in which I told you I needed to make some changes. I couldn't keep thinking about my life the way I have been thinking about it, and I offered the 23rd Psalm as a better way to think about things. I want to live my life the way David lived his, and I need to get my thinking aligned with his. On the way home, Sarah said, "The only thing I didn't like about your sermon was that you kept saying you had to change your thinking. I actually think you need to change your heart." And so we had a little discussion about that, and it turns out that when I'm feeling down, it's my thinking that's wrong. If I get myself thinking better, then I will feel better and act better. With her, it was different. It was the other way around. She starts feeling sad and then thinks poorly. So I want to start with the head. She wants to start with the heart. And really, as we discussed it, I think it's only semantics. I think we're just discussing the same thing in a different way. So here's my point. Whether you tune in and think about tuning into God by changing your thinking or changing your heart, this Sunday is about doing that. This Sunday is about the next step. How do you tune your head or your heart so you live a better way? Now, the temptation here and the danger here is to fall into the trap of saying, what do I need to do better? How do I need to work harder? Where do I need to improve? Those are the ways we would often approach this question. If I need a better life, what do I need to do? I think it's the wrong approach, though, because I think it puts the emphasis in the wrong place. This week, I'm going to give you a better starting point, a more biblical starting point, a starting point you may not have considered in all the other times that you have tried to renovate your life and get your head right or your heart right. The sermon is called, Where Do We Begin? And here's a hint, it's likely not where you think. I think this is going to be a really practical lesson. Again, one that you could bring anyone to. It's about improving our lives and seeing it better. So I think anyone could benefit from that. In Bible study last week, we had a really great discussion around the first 9 verses of 1 Kings chapter 19. In those verses, Elijah is feeling depressed. He's feeling worn out. He's feeling sad. Nothing is actually wrong, but again, Elijah's thinking and his heart is wrong. This is a common problem. And so we had this really great discussion about how God sees us and how we need to treat others who are in those circumstances. And again, I just really enjoyed it. The interesting part is that we were just barely scratching the surface of that discussion. As the chapter goes on, we learn more about God and we learn more about Elijah's answer, the answer that he needs to get back on track. I think the discussion last week was great, and I think the discussion this week is going to be even better. So we are going to start in 1 Kings chapter 19, around verse 10 or so. We'll summarize what went before, and then we'll just start reading what happens next. It's a really important lesson if you've ever thought about coming to Bible class, or if you haven't been there in a while, this would be a great place to start, because this, again, too, is going to be a really practical and useful lesson. I'm really excited about the fact that Kelvin and Mary are holding a hot dog wiener roast thing at their house. That's 5 o'clock on Sunday night, as you'll see in the notes that I send out. If you can come to that, please do. Those are always so much fun. Just a great time to visit and get to know each other. And I'm bringing a football and a frisbee and maybe my ball gloves. If anybody feels young and spry, we can do that until we feel old again, which will take me maybe 6 or 7 minutes. So, you know. But it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. We'll see you Sunday morning.